Okay, so the law of cosines is a little bit different. As you can see, there are three different versions of the law of cosines. You're only going to use one based on the information that you're given. But the reason why we're going to use the law of cosines is when we don't have a match. Remember yesterday when we did the law of sines, we talked about having side A and angle A as a pair, or side C and angle C as a pair, or side B and angle B as a pair. Well, what if we don't have a pair? Now what do we do? And so that's when we start to use the law of cosines. So let's move into our first example here and I'll show you how it works. If I'm given angle C is 60 degrees, side A is 100, and side B is 141. So if I go ahead and create my triangle here and label what I have, and we're still going to solve the triangle, okay, which means we're going to find all three angles and all three sides before we're done. But I know that side A is 100, side B is 141, and angle C is 60 degrees. So right now I don't have a match or a pair, so I cannot use the law of sines. I also cannot use a squared plus b squared equals c squared because that is for right triangles only. So now we are forced to use the law of cosines. Which one of these three will we use? Well, it's based off of what angle you have or what side you're trying to find. And I'm going to use this one right here because I have the cosine of C. So we're going to find the side of C by taking a squared plus b squared minus 2 times a times b times the cosine of C. So I'm just going to fill in what I know. I know that A is 100. I know that B is 141. I'm going to multiply the two of them together, and I know that angle C is 60 degrees. So now it's just a matter of punching all of this into your calculator. So 100 squared plus 141 squared minus 2 times 100 times 141 times the cosine of 60 degrees. And that is quite a big number. That wouldn't make sense now, would it? If my other sides were 100 and 141. But remember, this is c squared. So then I need to take the square root, and when I square root both sides, I get 125.6, so we'll call it 126. So now that makes a lot more sense. So now I know that this side is 126. Now guess what we're going to use? Now I have a match. So now I can use the law of sines. 126 to the sine of 60 degrees, and I'm just going to find angle A first. So 100 to the sine of angle A. Okay, so once you use the law of cosines, now you can use the law of sines to figure out everything else. So 100 times the sine of 60 divided by 126 gives me 0.6873, but remember that's the sine of A. When I'm trying to find the angle, I have to use the inverse sine key, and when I take the inverse to both sides, I end up with 43.4 for angle A. So if angle A is, I'll just keep it at 43 degrees. I know all three sides. Now I just need to find angle B, and that's easy. 180, take away 60, take away 43, and we have 77 degrees left. So it's like you start from the law of cosines. Once you have a match, you use the law of sines, and then you fill in the rest of the triangle that you need. Okay? The law of cosines is just figuring out which one is easier or harder to use. Okay, the other formula that I want to show you is Huron's formula. And that is when we take the sides divided by 2. So we are going to take s times s minus a times s minus b times s minus c. And remember that area equals 1/2 base times height. You might see this in one of your homework questions. If we need to do it, I can do another example with you at another time.